fellas? It's Wake Up Mintzy, presented by Dude Wipes on I don't know how to call it, like a lovely Thursday morning. It's a little rainy out there, but excited to get in here, get through another full week of the show. Is it Act 3? Is it Act 4? Who knows? But we're here. We're excited. And as always, I'm here chugging some Stella Blue coffee because it's the best damn coffee in the land. And I'm trying to wake up and get my mind right. It's a little of a great day. Joined as always by Tyler Moody. What's up, Mr. Moody?
Hey, doing good, Ben. Glad to be here this morning. I'm not a morning person whatsoever. So for me to be up trying to get it going in the morning is not the easiest thing. I have my schedule really worked out well where I can sleep in most days. So, yeah, but I'm here.
Well, start. I feel like I had a really strange dream last night, Moody, and I don't know. I've just been so excited about these Widespread Panic Chicago theater shows that are tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. And then I had this nightmare that they got canceled, and I woke up in this like cold sweat. I don't know. I'm glad I woke up, and that couldn't be true, right?
I hate to tell you, but it is in fact true. Widespread Panic has been postponed.
I thought that was a dream. That can't be true. I've been looking forward to these shows here for since Halloween. Damn. Really? Okay. Well, you know what? Sounds like we've got a sticky situation on our hands, and luckily we got the best company to clean up the sticky situations because Wake Up Mintzy is presented by Dude Wipes. They're available at your local Target, Walmart, and retail stores around the country. The first thing I do every morning, well, it's not the first thing I do in the morning. I usually drink some Stella Blue coffee and get some breakfast, but then I take a dump, and the only way I wipe is with Dude Wipes. It gets me the ultimate clean, and why would you use crappy toilet paper when you have a nice wet product that doesn't leave you dry and itchy? Wet things are always clean better than dry things, right? Of course. So quit using dry, scratchy toilet paper and start using Dude Wipes. Got some texts all the way. Dude Wipes reached all the way to Shreveport and Bossier. Me and you, this whole stomping ground. I got
out Ratchet City.
Yeah, I got some pictures from one of my friends buying Dude Wipes for the first time yesterday. We're trying to get the word out to the people. It's an amazing product. Look, I mean, it's always nice. Let's not kid ourselves. We're going to support whatever sponsors we have. But it's nice when you have a sponsor when you just love the product. And the first time I used Dude Wipes in the New York office a couple years ago, I was like, damn, these things are awesome. And so I highly recommend it. Check out dudewipes.com, Target, Walmart. And like I said, the best at cleaning up. Wake Up Mintzy, known to get in sticky situations. No better product to clean it up than Dude Wipes. Well, Moody, now that you just hit me with this news that my whole weekend plans that I've been looking forward to for 5 months just got moved. I'm going to try to do what I always do and make lemonade out of lemons. This affected a lot of people I know because all these people have flown up from the South and Mississippi. I had a buddy that flew up yesterday, and he's already flying back at like 10 a.m. this morning. He was really, really pissed off. I've got a whole Ole Miss crew coming up. They decided to still come, and we're going to make the best out of it. You know what? The beauty of it is, luckily we live in Chicago, and there's a crap ton of fun stuff to do here on the weekend. So I think calling a reverse pivot, I'm going to the Penguins Blackhawks tonight, Moody. I know the Blackhawks are struggling. They're like 14-36, but I think Sidney Crosby still plays for the Penguins, right?
Yes.
Good. Hopefully he's healthy. See Sid, he's not a kid anymore. I'm actually going with the Panic manager and Dwayne Trucks, the drummer, tonight, but we'll be at that game. Super excited about that. So, I mean, when like going to see a Blackhawks game, it could be a lot worse. I think the crew, I'm wanting to take the Ole Miss crew and Goodnight John Boy on Friday. Shout out to our guy, Dante the Don. I know you've been in there before, too. In West Loop, man, it's like a disco dance club. That place is unreal.
Yeah, look.
That place is literally unreal.
I have never been in a place where you literally couldn't walk. Like, you could not move in there. It was just ladies everywhere, by the way. I mean, some very, very beautiful women here in Chicago. And we had a great time in there. Shout out to Cruz. He's the man around there, apparently. And John Boy is just quite the spot. Definitely a good place to be any night of the week.
We're going to hit that up. And then Saturday, the one positive, though, our guy who's got a little notoriety because he was on the Wake Up Mintzy when we had that little incident in New Orleans. But our guy, Andy Frasco, who we're good friends with, playing at Metro Saturday night. So that'll be awesome, too. So you know what? There's no reason to sit around crying and complaining. We're still going to have an awesome weekend. So looking forward to Frasco Saturday night. I don't know if he'd become willing to. Someday we'll get him back on Wake Up Mintzy. He might be gun shy after that little problem we had. I don't know.
A misunderstanding, of course.
Oh, totally. Always a misunderstanding. All right, bunch of stuff to get into today. First of all, some good wholesome news. We love good feel-good news here. We're Wake Up Mintzy. We're a positive program. Did you see the video of our boss man, Dave Portnoy, getting his new rescue dog yesterday?
Yeah, I did see that. Actually, we've got a little clip of that right here.
Okay, Dave was talking about it in the office when he was here earlier this week, getting a new dog, Miss Peaches, a 6-year-old rescue, and there's a clip of it yesterday. We need some wholesome feel-good. This is a crazy world out there. We need some positive energy, and I think Dave getting this rescue is just what we need.
Are you a dog person, Mintzy?
I am a dog person. The only problem, I wish I could get one, but all I do is travel. My lifestyle can't. I can't take care of myself, much less an animal.
Have you had dogs growing up or anything?
Yeah, we had like a West Highland Terrier, but then we had a lot of cats. But I do love dogs, and I feel like dogs always vibe with me. And, I think at some point later in life I'd like to get one, but I don't know. The Mintzy tour is not conducive to having an animal.
Place for you.
If you could have a dog right now, what kind of dog would you have?
Yeah, she's so mellow. Give her a little CBD.
I know that it's kind of a thing that, it's like a cliche because there's so many, but I love the French Bulldogs. I know Jersey Jerry used to breed them. And I know that's kind of people roll their eyes because they're like bred. The rescue dogs thing is so admirable, and I love Dave doing that. But I love the little Frenchies. I don't know. He's got huge personalities.
Yeah, I'm a Husky fan personally. I had a Jack Russell Terrier growing up. Obviously, my sister has a rescue dog. Her German Shepherd wants to kill me, though. It hates me for some reason.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not a fan of me.
That is interesting, because who's not a fan of Moody? I don't know anybody that isn't. You're laid back, roll close. Did you get the Dave video?
Yeah, Dave video's playing right now. I know you can't see it, but yeah, it's up and playing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Dave, it's interesting, Dave, who obviously we more than love on Wake Up Mintzy, because lucky to be employed, and it's just an honor to work in Barstool Sports. Dave strikes me as one of those people that I think he likes animals more than people. And I'm not saying he doesn't like people. Hell, he's been good to a lot of them, including myself. But you just see it in his voice, the way his voice cracks. He just loves animals. It's got like a little bit of like I don't know. I wouldn't say it's quite to the Tony Soprano level, because Dave treats people a lot better than Tony did on The Sopranos, for sure. But it reminds me of it in a way, just like Dave. You can just see his love for animals. And just the way his voice cracks, he's so happy. It's just wholesome. It's a good thing. I don't think it's a weird thing at all. All right, bunch of other stuff to get into. We're in a little bit of a purgatory. So what do you think about this time of year in sports? It's like you and I are big football guys. We have football from Labor Day all the way till last Sunday. And then you got like the transition time, college basketball. We're in the heart of it right now. And, we're in conference play in the middle of it. We got March Madness. We got the conference tournaments. That'll be a lot of fun for sure coming up. And then the NBA about to hit the All-Star break. That's the All-Star game in Indianapolis. But I know you and me, you're probably most excited for.
There's no question. It's football and baseball season. That's really the only two seasons that exist for me, to be honest. So, pitchers and catchers reporting yesterday. I'm excited. You got the first spring training game next Thursday. So this is my favorite time of the year, to be honest. The Super Bowl going right into baseball season. I'm excited. So I know other people kind of feel like this is the dead time of year. I was doing fantasy baseball drafts yesterday, mock drafts. Like I'm getting ready to roll. So this is my favorite time of the year. I'm really getting fired up.
Okay, well, so spring training, pitchers and catchers reporting, spring training, anything kind of catching your eye? I know we know you're a huge Rangers fan. You hit them 45-1 to win the title last year. Do you think they have a shot to repeat?
I think they have there is the potential for them to repeat. They need to re-sign Jordan Montgomery. It's one of the biggest things that has to happen. They let Josh Hader go to the Astros. That the Rangers' biggest hole last season was the bullpen, and they let Hader go to the Astros. I hate to see that. And I don't know. I think if the Rangers are able to secure Jordan Montgomery, it really puts us back in the same place that we were in. We'll be rolling out essentially the same team, adding Wyatt Langford to the lineup at some point this season.
Yeah, Florida stud, top 4 pick.
He's a freaking stud, man. So I think the Rangers do have a chance to repeat. Yeah, of course, it's definitely possible, but it's so difficult to do in baseball. I'm looking at, I think the Astros are going to be tough to beat in the division. And then obviously when you look at the National League, the Dodgers and Braves are freaking good. But one of the things that stands out to me right now is these unsigned free agents. Like you've got two of the best free agents.
Is it just because of Scott Boras?
Part of it, they're Boras guys. You've got Blake Snell, the reigning NL Cy Young winner of the year last season. Still a free agent.
Wait, the Cy Young's still a free agent?
Yes, last year's Cy Young winner is a free agent, and he's a flat-out stud. So it's kind of crazy. You've got a couple guys. Cody Bellinger being unsigned is nuts. I thought he was going to be a Blue Jay for a while. I really keep thinking the Cubs are going to re-sign him, but
he's
a legitimate player as well. Now he's had a couple down years in between a breakout season last year, or a rebound season, I guess you'd say. But man, it's interesting to see those guys still on the market as we are essentially into spring training.
Well, spring training starting. It's interesting for me being in Chicago. Like, people are like, "Oh, what's your Chicago sports allegiance?" I'll tell you the story I'm watching. I'm an Ole Miss college baseball guy. My guy Tim Elko, who's the captain of Ole Miss's national championship team, who I'm good buddies with, he made it all the way to Double-A Birmingham, the Barons, for the White Sox last year. He started in Low A, went through Low A, High, and Double-A. I mean, that's going to be my allegiance. When he gets called up to the White Sox, I'm friends with his dad. And the White Sox also have a couple other Ole Miss guys, Jacob Gonzalez, the first-round pick shortstop, and Calvin Harris in the organization. I mean, I'm going to be going to a ton of his games. And we'll get him on Wake Up Mintzy. Dude, we did a NIL shirt for Elko with Barstool in college when Ole Miss made Omaha. But that's going to be a really fun story for me to follow the next few years, because the Cubs thing is so interesting. And, like, don't get me wrong, I can't wait to go to Wrigley Field and hang out and see it all. But, like, I don't know, just everybody grew up watching the Cubs on WGN, so they have such a national fan base. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm a hater. I'm just a dude from Louisiana, so I don't know that I have a tie with, like, a Chicago team, And so I think my allegiance is going to be with Elko, but I can't wait to see. He had 28 homers, 106 RBIs last year. So, and the White Sox are rebuilding, so hopefully he gets up pretty soon. That's going to be a lot of fun. And speaking of college baseball, I know nobody knows it, and so we'll only spend like a couple minutes on it, because I know, I'm not trying to run off our listeners, but college baseball starts this weekend too, Moody. And, I mean, everyone knows it's the most underrated sport in the world, and you can now gamble on it too, which makes it great. But college baseball starting this weekend. Conference play starts in like late March. So usually, like, college baseball, the coverage really cranks up after the Final Four and Masters from like early April through late June in Omaha. But start falling this week. Ole Miss is going to Hawaii. That sounds kind of fun. Start the weekend. There's a tournament at Globe Life Park where the Rangers play. In Arlington, Tennessee and Texas Tech play on Friday. They're number 21 and number 9. Top teams going into the rankings. Check out D1Baseball.com. Big fan of them. They do a great job. Wake Forest, number 1 in their rankings. Obviously, they lost to LSU in that crazy 11-inning, 1-0 Omaha game in the semifinals last year when Tommy Tanks hit the walk-off. LSU's preseason number 2. They did lose Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens, who were 1 and 2 in the dang Major League Baseball draft. But they still got Tommy Tanks back. They got a ton of transfers. They got really deep pitching staff, and it's a lot of the usual suspects. I mean, SEC dominates college baseball. Arkansas is ranked real high. Florida's got the Shohei Ohtani of college baseball and Jack Caglione. Dude hit like 33 bombs and had like a 2.90 ERA as a starter, throwing 100 last year. Have you seen him play?
Yeah, no, I've seen him play. I'm curious if it'll translate to the major leagues. Like, eventually, he's probably gonna. I don't know that he's elite enough at at the dish or on the mound to actually succeed in the MLB. He could be one of those guys that is like a minor league star, but we'll see. I'm curious to see what he does, once he makes his way out of college baseball. Some
of the other top teams, like I said, Arkansas, they've got this lefty Hagen Smith, who's a super ace. Vandy, top 8, they're always super good. TCU made Omaha last year, got hot. They're like number 6. Virginia, number 10. I mean, it's a lot of the same usual suspects, but, one of the things I've done since I've been at Barstool is go to bat for college baseball, and it's the most underrated sport. I've said it forever. There's nothing like Omaha. Love the NCAA tournament, the atmospheres of these SEC games, the parties in the outfield. I mean, it's the best, and I'm here to shine a light on it.
What are you going to do to grow the game this year?
Well, I'm looking forward to doing some gambling college baseball content. So we're going to try to do some, we've seen a lot of people at Barstool have like success doing the daily pick stuff. So I'm going to try to start doing like a daily college baseball pick. I know, like, as far as traveling goes, I know I'm going to the SEC tourney in Hoover because that's just become such a big thing with the Vandy Whistler the last couple of years. I'm probably going to go to, hopefully can go to Omaha again this year. But we're going to be following it close. And you know what I'm excited about, Moody, is our gambling cave in the Chicago office has like 7 TVs. I can't wait to come in here on conference weekends and just throw like all the games up and watch them because that, man, I know you love doing that too with pro baseball, man. There's nothing better than have 6 or 7 games on. You got action on. But I highly suggest if you hadn't checked out college baseball, make this the year you do it. I mean, it's just such a fun product. And I'm excited that it starts this weekend. As I said, it does feel a little preseason-y early, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Especially before conference, but it's still a lot of fun. Teams are figuring out what they got, and I'm pumped about it. So we're kind of in that weird transition into college baseball and pro baseball ahead, which, you know, the spring training. Let's touch on NBA real quick. All-Star break. There's some games tonight, so the All-Star break doesn't start till this weekend. It's in Indy. I mean, I'm pumped because I'm obviously a Pelicans guy. They 33-22 for the Pels, man. You know, I think it's the best record at the All-Star break in franchise history, which probably doesn't say much, but they got a win last night. What I wanted to mention to you, though, was looking at the Western Conference standings. Like, it's just so interesting how to analyze it because you've got, like, the Wolves up top. You got the Thunder, and then you got the Nuggets and the Clippers. And then you've got a logjam with the Pelicans. I believe it's the Suns, the Kings, and the Mavs, 5 through 8 are like a game and a half apart. And then you got the Lakers and the Warriors and the dang playing at 9 and 10. I have no idea what the hell is going to happen here. Who do you like?
I kind of like the Suns a little bit.
Okay.
I'm a Kevin Durant guy, so I just think he's one of the best players to ever touch a basketball. So I'm always going to lean a little bit Kevin Durant's way. I don't know. The thing with Minnesota and Oklahoma City is like they haven't been there and done that. So whenever push comes to shove in the playoffs, like are they going to be able to stand up against one of these teams that has a lot of experience? It's just really weird seeing the Lakers and the Warriors at the very bottom with the potential for a play-in game between the Lakers and Warriors once again. Which
is just wild. But like, so you're looking at some like first round series where it's going to be like the Thunder 2 seed against the Lakers 7 or 8 seed. I don't know. It's just kind of wild to see the Wolves and Thunder up that high and the Lakers and Warriors down that low. The Suns thing you mentioned is interesting. Now that they have Bradley Beal, Durant, and Booker, I know they've kind of been struggling with injuries, but it seems like they're playing a little better.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing better. And once that team gets fully healthy and really clicking, I mean, I think they're going to be scary. They're 14-1 right now on DraftKings. So I lean towards the Suns as far as the best value on the board right now, at least in my opinion.
Okay, the Suns the best value. On the Eastern Conference, I know there was the big story with Doc Rivers taking over the Bucks, who fired their coach when they were like 30-13. The East doesn't have like near the depth the West does. Obviously, you have Celtics and Bucks, and Joel Embiid's out right now for I think 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, with the knee injury. But is there? I mean, the East. I feel like the West is way more unpredictable, I would say.
The West is more unpredictable. It feels like the Celtics will be the team out of the East. I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's basketball. Injuries can happen, but the Celtics are certainly the best team in the Eastern Conference.
What do you think of the Bucks with Doc?
Always scary. I mean, Giannis.
I mean, you got Damian Lillard, and they got Lillard now.
Of course, no doubt. But I mean, the Celtics have proven to this point that they're the best team in the East, so they'll be the number 1 seed going in. But the Bucks are going to be scary. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Well, so it's kind of like I said, just an interesting time in sports because the college basketball heating up, NBA All-Star break, all the transitions, baseball, that. But there's still a lot going on. And, I mean, I know you and I both may not – I mean, I like college basketball. I'm not here to hate on it, but I just really like it in March.
Yeah, look, I mean, I do play-by-play for college basketball, so I'm a big fan. You know, I really am. I feel like things don't really get going until conference tournaments happen, though. Like, you play all these games, and unless you're one of the bottom teams in your conference and you don't make the conference tournament, then you're playing for some seeding. So I don't know. I think the season truly starts whenever conference tournaments get going. And then obviously the big dance is, man, it's one of the most fun things in all of sports.
Yeah, well, the thing that makes it so great is that win or go home thing. Like, and NBA, you got these 4 out of 7 playoff series. College basketball, man, you get those conference tourneys, especially the conference tourneys that are like the mid majors and lower, where it's you have to win them to make the tournament. I mean, there's just nothing like that energy on that win or go home. And when you see these bottom seeds making runs to the tournament. I'm stoked personally. I'm going to the SEC tournament in Nashville, and I'm going to hang out at the Barstool Bar in Nashville off Broadway. I've heard it's unreal. So I'm really, really excited about doing that in mid-March. And then I'm going to go to Bama, Ole Miss, and Oxford in a couple weeks too. Ole Miss is kind of struggling right now. They got beat by Kentucky. They're right now literally on the first 4 list. They're currently an 11 seed. At 5 and 6 in the SEC, but I mean, making the NCAA tournament in Beard's first year would be great. Last night, some stuff at college basketball. Did you see how bad Auburn beat South Carolina?
I did not know.
It's crazy to me how much these odds makers know, because they'll put these lines out, and this is like a little bit of a line gambling lesson here. whenever you see Vegas or whoever makes the lines put a line out and it's like 4 points higher than you think it should be, like they're just baiting you. And like Auburn, South Carolina last night was like number 11 South Carolina at number 13 Auburn, okay? Auburn was an 11-point favorite at home, Moody. And on mostly quick picks, the Walker and Shea and Megan show, the audience gets to make a pick every day, and they all fell for it. Took the South Carolina plus 11, and Walker just snapped sensed it. Give him credit. But like that line you'd think would be 7 when it was 11. You see Auburn won it was like 100-60. It was like crazy. But a lot of times the moral of the story, it's like when lines look too good to be true, they usually are. Because you don't want to mess with these odds makers. It's crazy how much they know. There is some good the marquee college basketball game this weekend, Marquette-UConn. Should be super interesting. I saw Jeff D. Lowe and Minahan and them all went to UConn DePaul last night. UConn, I mean, I think they got a good chance to repeat. I don't see why not. I know it's just a tournament, so hard to predict, but man, they're playing so well, and they've got that championship pedigree with Hurley. Also, one other funny thing, subplot, I want to get into today a little bit. We had the Nick Tarani, that clip yesterday of me, my hamstring cramping while I was trying to get the Ashes was something. That's for sure. People had a lot of thoughts on it. But I did start day one of like a 40-day Lenten challenge, and I posted a video that went kind of nuts on Viva Stool because my dumb ass posted a video with my face in like the crack of a mirror. Did you see it?
Yeah, I've got the picture here actually.
I got kind of trolled for it, and people were like, "Only you would post that." But I was like, "Whatever." I mean, there were like people everywhere. I don't know. I didn't think it was that big a deal.
I didn't notice it at first until I saw people pointing it out. Of course, I wasn't looking that closely, but yeah, there it is.
Well, the moral of the story is it's time to get jacked, Moody. I've always wanted to say that, and I've been like lifting since June, but I'm doing this Lent 40-day challenge thing where it's like I'm over a week off, like no nicotine, obviously. I'm eating healthy. I'm trying to be super strict with it. And I'm just going to try to like lift or run like almost every day of Lent. I'm just going to do it all the time. And I'm getting stronger, but I want to get jacked, I've never been that way. And I'm kind of just feeling it. I'm getting to where I used to not like lifting weights. I would do it. I started like last June, but like I'm getting way stronger. And I want to know what it's like to be jacked, it's weird. It's like the getting older thing. It's kind of interesting that you just kind of priorities change, but it was like I didn't care about my health at all, and like obviously was like super overweight, dealt with all that, and now it's like all I care about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I mean it does to me. It's you're on fire right now, so you got to keep pouring some gasoline on it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go real hard, and we're just gonna see where it takes us. As far as I'm excited. The Wake Up Mintzy thing, we've had it looks like we're going to get through a whole week of shows here without an incident. I'm just chinking us. But luckily, like I said, if something does happen, we got dude wipes to clean it up. Moody's going to be here next week, too. So we got you for back-to-back weeks. So, excited about this weekend?
Yeah, excited for the weekend. And then, we'll have next week of shows, and just glad that we've continued to make it through. One thing I do want to throw out there before we wrap this up, and as we move forward, there's going to be a lot of gambling on this show. Like, that's our background, right? Mintz and I, look, I had the best. I don't work for Barstool, but I would have been the best gambler at Barstool this last year by a wide margin.
You won 100. Dude, you won 140 units.
It wouldn't even be. Yeah, I mean, I had a great football season. I had a great baseball season. I'm the best gambler in the building. Period.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay, there's no doubt.
100%.
Moody comes in saying I'm the best in the building.
Let's be honest. Who's the best gambler in the building? You think? I'll dog walk any of them. I'll tell you.
Shea's pretty good, but I don't know if he's the
Shea's
best.
pretty good. He's only up like 19 units or something. We do that in a week in baseball season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moody coming in here chest out, just calling everybody out. I love it, dude.
But I want to throw one out real quick here towards the back end. Luis Robert, over 29.5 home runs.
Okay, White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox guy, right, for the Chicago people around the area here. I like Luis Robert over 29.5 home runs. It's minus 110 right now. It's one of my favorite bets of the season. Hit over 30 home runs last year. I think he's going to have a monster season potentially as long as he stays healthy. Had one of the best barrel rates in baseball last year. And then I'm tagging on to that for like 0.2 of a unit. him to lead Major League Baseball in home runs at 55-1 on DraftKings. 55-1.
55-1.
It's a big number. I don't know for sure that he's going to lead the majors in home runs by any means. I mean, obviously, if Aaron Judge stays healthy, Pete Alonso stay healthy, they're going to be the favorites right there. Matt Olson as well. But I like the odds. I think 55-1 for a guy that really swings it well, has such a good barrel rate, is a little ridiculous. So I like Luis Robert to definitely go over 29.5 home runs. But I think there's a chance that he could have a breakout season and become the guy that the White Sox thought he would be when they drafted him or when they signed him. So yeah, give me Luis Robert over 29.5.
Dude, I mean,
as a for sure thing. That's one of my locks of the season. And then the 55-1.
He hit 38 last year, right?
Yeah, I think he hit right at that number.
Okay, there you go. The Moody pick of the day, Luis Robert over 29.5 homers. And 55 to dude, you got to take a flyer on that 55-1. How'd your big game go? I won 13 units on the big game.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, obviously,
I've never bet overtime in my entire life in a game. Like that's such a random bet. But I mean, I kept analyzing that damn Chiefs-Niners game, and I couldn't figure it out because I was like, it's gonna be so close. I was like, well, if somebody's gonna win by 3. We might as well bet overtime.
Yeah, I had the under, which ended up being a crazy sweat. I mean, for the majority of the game, I'm like, oh, this is a lock, this is a lock, this is a lock. And then all of a sudden, we got overtime, and the over almost backdoored us. But yeah, I had the under, so we escaped by half a point. And then I had Christian McCaffrey first touchdown, and I had a couple of parlays that had a bunch of unders on there that almost hit. And then, of course, overtime ended up toasted.
Well, now that it's weird, and the next year's big game, the Super Bowl in New Orleans, I'm obviously super stoked about that. I've got a vibe toward next year that I want to bring up now. It's just a feeling, and I know it's like stupid to think of stuff in the air and feel it, but I don't know. I'm feeling this Joe Burrow and Chase running it back in NOLA, man. It's going to be like 5 years after they won the LSU national title there and the Super Bowl in Nolan. Look, when you look at it, nobody else is beating Mahomes but Burrow. That's it. Burrow's the only one that can beat him. He's 3-1 against him in the overall, 1-1 in the playoffs. But like we've seen Lamar and Allen, they can't do it. So I don't know. I may like take a look at I hadn't seen the futures for next year, but I think I'm gonna take a.
We can look those up real quick. One other thing I was thinking about is some of the free agents. Like who are some of the free agents that could potentially change things this offseason? Chris Jones for the Chiefs. Josh Allen, the outside linebacker for the Jags. T. Higgins.
I heard Higgins is gonna get franchised by the Bengals.
Yep.
The Chiefs saying they're gonna figure out a way to bring Jones back, dude. How can you not?
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, dude, he just wrecked. I mean, you saw this. He just literally wrecks games by himself, and like you don't see D tackles or DNs that like. I mean, it's like Aaron Donald used to do that too, but now he gets triple teamed every game. But no, I mean they're gonna bring Jones back.
Do you think that Kirk Cousins returns to the Minnesota Vikings?
That's gonna be fascinating. I kind of think he does, though. I mean, what's the alternative for him, and like where would he go?
Pittsburgh would make a lot of sense. I know that we kind of talked about it.
I think this feels like, and I know we're in Chicago talking about. Everybody's been talking about Justin Fields to the Falcons, but I think the Fields to the Steelers thing could come. And I've kind of heard. I don't know anything, but it does. I mean, I haven't seen anything out of Kenny Pickett the last 2 years to make me think he's like the guy. I mean, I don't know. You can't blame it all on him because Matt Canada was such a horrible offensive coordinator, and they had bad O-line. There are a lot of problems, but I don't know. I think Fields as a Steeler would be very interesting.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
I just hope he goes there and doesn't go to Atlanta because I think he'd be really good in Atlanta.
Well, I think he's a good quarterback, man. He's been stuck in Chicago. The Bears, they don't know what they're doing.
The Caleb Williams
don't know what they're doing. Okay, let me ask you this. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. I don't think he's near as good as people.
You think Caleb Williams is a bust?
I don't know. I don't think he's going to be. People are making him sound like he's a for sure thing. I'm not as sold on him as everyone else is.
So if you were Chicago, would you take him or would you trade down and keep Fields? What would you do?
Well, the problem with keeping Fields is he's going to have to get paid, right?
That's my thing on
the whole
it too.
thing. So yes, you take Caleb Williams here, but I think he's going to end up in Chicago and he'll be another Justin Fields. I think they're going to get 4 years of like very similar production. I think it's going to be just a team that's
Williams is a different quarterback though, man. He could throw. He could push the ball down the field.
But to what receivers though? I mean, I
like DJ.
Moore,
I love
outside of that.
Yeah, but I mean, they got
those guys.
I don't know. I like DJ, and I like Mooney a little bit. Cole Kmet's a pretty good tight end. I don't know. I think it's a situation where I actually like Fields. I'm not a Fields hater, But I still think you got to go Caleb Williams here just because the contract thing. And we've seen this in the NFL forever. When you get the quarterbacks on the rookie contract and you can spend your money elsewhere, you can really build something. And I know the Bears paid Montez Sweat, who was like a really good pass rusher last year, and did awesome after they traded for him from the Commanders. But I just don't see how when you got Fields entering, I believe, is it year 4 or 5 next year?
It's year 5.
Oh, it's his 5th?
It's his final year on his deal, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think it's 4 because he was 2020 because he was the COVID year. So it's 2021 through 3 is what he's played. But he'll have to do a 5th-year option after that. So you have 1 year of him cheap, and then you got a 5th-year option where you got to pay him something and then lock him up. You got to take Caleb Williams here. I just don't see how you don't unless you get – I mean, you could get a crazy haul of picks. I know that. But
2024 is the last year on his deal.
Okay, but then I don't think that's the 5th-year option because he came out in 20 – he lost the national championship in 2020 to Mac Jones, the COVID year. So it has to be his 4th year. So that'll be real interesting to follow, but I think you got to go Caleb Williams unless you get some kind of crazy thing. And, I like I said, I hope the Steelers get Fields and not Atlanta because I have some concerns. Do you think and check out, by the way, Stephen Shea does mock drafts. Our guy Liam Blutman's like the new senior draft analyst. He's doing mock drafts. Liam's funny. Red-haired dude. He was No Context College Football account. It's great. But give him a follow at Liam Blutman on Twitter. He's a fun character to have around here from Vegas. We're thrilled to have him at the stool. Do you like Jaden Williams or Drake May as the number 2?
I kind of lean a little bit towards Drake May. I haven't watched – I didn't get a chance to watch as much of them as I would have liked during the football season because I was doing games on Saturday, so I was on the sideline, so I didn't get a chance to sit in front of the TV as much. So, I didn't watch as much college football the past couple years because I've been broadcasting games.
Well, I'm going to go Jaden Daniels, and I know that's a real surprise, but I just thought – I mean, he's 6'4". He gets to – the way he progressed, he gets to his 3rd and 4th progression, and he can run, and he's mobile. I think it's like – I don't know. In May, I don't know. May kind of faded this year, and I'm just – I mean, I don't know if Sam. I don't know. I'm Daniels here for sure.
Here's my thing: at LSU, you play with some of the best receivers in the country, and Drake May did not necessarily have that at North Carolina. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I like Daniels. Obviously, he's a stud, Heisman winner, elite athlete, can sling the football and has the wheels. I lean a little bit towards May as far as an NFL product.
So that's gonna be fun to follow because you're saying May over him. I don't think it's even close. I mean, I think Daniels. He had one of the best. If LSU had a defense that was even top 80 last year, I mean, the LSU offense was literally on the 2019 LSU level. That's how good it was last year with Daniels. So, I don't know. I think he's the guy. He's also 6'4", and, that's my thoughts. Excited for this weekend, though. Shout out to Dude Wipes cleaning up the messes that get created on the show. And like I said, the Panic one, they reschedule those shows for a couple weeks. It's like February 28th, 29th, and March 1st. I hope I can make them, but I don't know. I may have schedule conflict there. Life's going to go on, though, because there's always more shows. Just hope everybody's okay, and the guy that's sick in the band feels better. I'm stoked about seeing Frasco at Metro Saturday night. Y'all get tickets to that if y'all have never seen Andy Frasco. True one-of-one entertainer. There's nothing like a Frasco show. And, man, I get to see some hockey tonight, get out to see the Blackhawks, go dancing. It's going to be fun. Still got a lot of my good friends still – that was a real weird situation with people coming up here and whether a lot of people bailed, but my crew's still coming up here and going to show them around Chicago, so it could be worse.
Let me ask you this. Pick one. Widespread Panic, Ole Miss, or New Orleans Sports?
Why you got to do that to me, dude? I was just about to just close the show and get out of here and get on with my life, and you ask me the hardest damn question. I mean, you just put me in a pickle. So, I mean, I like all three kind of equally, which is such a cop-out. God. I mean, I've been a Saints fan my whole life. Lived in NOLA 6 years. Lived in Oxford 10. I've been to 200 Panic shows. God, dude, there's the three things that I care about in life. God, I don't. Dang it. Sorry, Moody. This is brutal. No, this is the hardest question someone could ask me. I think I'm. God. This Kiffin here is so good though, and the Ole Miss winning the baseball title. I'm between Ole Miss and Panic for one, but I'm not sure. But then the Saints in the Super Bowl. You know what? We got to end the show because I can't answer this. This is too hard. I want to just throw something at you for asking this because there's just nothing harder in my life than getting that. But big weekend ahead. We're back next Tuesday through Thursday. We'll continue to have guests on here. Shout out to Cruz, who's doing an awesome job on social, and Moody and our production team. I kind of like, what do you think, Moody, where we're at? You like our setup?
Yeah, I like the setup here. Obviously, it's a little bit different than what we had planned originally. What we were doing in New Orleans was wide open and wild. I mean, the setup there was just, we had thrown some stuff together. The energy was a little bit higher. And then obviously we had the kitchen set up once we made it here to Chicago, or once you made it to Chicago, and that got taken away from us. So we're just kind of relegated to this studio at the moment. But we're making the best of it.
Yeah, it's a great setup. But I love having the access to all the Barstool guests that we have in here. And like you said, we can do the gambling. I don't know. I think we're doing good, and we appreciate all y'all supporting us. Subscribe to the Rumble channel. Obviously, Barstool, we got to deal with Rumble now. We got a link tree up that links all our different accounts as well. And thanks to Dude Wipes for sponsoring us. And let's get the show on the road, Moody. Thank y'all for listening to Wake Up Mintzy. We'll be back next week, bringing the heat. I'm about to go pound some Stella Blue. Enjoy my weekend. What's up, fellas? As y'all know, it's been a hell of a messy year. And the only thing messier than my online history are my big old fat sweaty dumps. That's why this season, I only trust Dude Wipes to handle my Mississippi mud pies.
Oh, Mintzy, you're cooking now. Ooh, wait.
When you're hot, you're hot.